Good morning, my friends. How can I help? This is Coffee with Len. It's Monday morning. It's windy, chilly, and wet outside. I thought Memorial Day weekend is next weekend. What's going on with the weather? It's supposed to be moving into summer. Looks like the beginning of winter out my window. Hi, Chip. Good morning, Chip. So, I've been doing Coffee with Len for years. This will be almost 6 years. And I wake up some mornings and I think about what I'm doing and I wonder what to talk about. Hello, Michael. Good morning. So I thought I'd do something interesting, different today. John Maxwell has his daily minute in which he talks about whatever his customers ask him to talk about. And I thought I'd do the same thing. I thought I'd ask you if there's anything that you would like me to talk about. Hi, Betty. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Michael and Chip. So the question is there any topic that you'd like to discuss that I could talk about? Richard, good morning. Richard, how are you and the dogs doing? And the other question I have, the corollary question, I can't, Michael, well, I can, but it's cold out there. Cold, wet, and windy. It's raining. So that's what I was saying. Anyone who doesn't think climate change is real just has to look out my window. On the other hand, change is real, always. The climate of the planet has always been changing, and it will continue to change, whether or not man interferes with it. The real question is, it's not whether, the real question is, there are two real questions about climate change, in my opinion, both of which are rarely addressed. One is, how much of climate change is really instigated by the presence of man and his folly and foolishness? And obviously, I think the answer is some of it. The question is, how much of it? And the second question is, can man survive his own folly? Because the reality is, we're not going to destroy the planet Earth. Earth will survive. We're not going to destroy nature. Nature will still be here. The only real question is, are we going to destroy ourselves? And I think that's a very relevant question. And I think anyone who debates the reality of climate change is really debating the wrong question. Whether it's going to be weather, whether we take it or not, it's what it is, and you're still doing Coffee with Len. Yeah. So I think, once again, for me, the topic of climate change is the climate changing. I mean, it's a moot point. The climate's been changing for a few billion years, however long Earth has been here, and continuing to change. Anybody hear of the old ice ages and the meteors that struck and wiped out the dinosaurs? And I mean, the things that have been going on for many, many hundreds of thousands, millions of years. The question is man going to survive his own folly? And if you look at the destruction that man is waging on the planet right now, to me, it's highly questionable. Right now, 90% of the fish are gone from the ocean. It's estimated by, I don't know what year, 2040 something, that there won't be any fish left. Zero fish. Won't be any fish left at the rate we're going. We're losing species at a phenomenal rate. It's called the sixth major mass extinction. That's right, Chip. It will continue to change. And as I've said before, in my humble opinion, the planet, nature, can flick man off of the surface like a mosquito in the back of an elephant. Gone. And is that a realistic possibility? Hell yes. In my opinion, it is. So let me go back to the original question now. I've been doing Coffee with Len for almost 6 years, about 5.5 years. I don't remember exactly when the first one was. Is there anything you'd like me to talk about? What's on your mind? I started to work on a new course yesterday. If I were to publish a new course, what should it be on? What would you like to learn about? How can I help? What is on your mind? You have any thoughts or suggestions for what's important to you and what we can talk about? You don't have to answer me all at once. Annie, good morning. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you, my friend? And Michael, you might have to bring a jacket to the Miracles in the Desert event. Yeah. Things are changing. What's amazing to me is last year we had, and I look at the snowfall all the time because I'm an avid snow skier. Last year we had one of the worst snowfall years in history. I mean, it was abysmal how little snow there was. And when I say last year, I mean 18 months ago. This year, we had one of the biggest snowfall years in history. I don't know what the total numbers are. Now, I go to a ski resort called Kirkwood Meadows. And typically, Kirkwood has 400 to 500 inches of snow a year. I've seen the population will peak and plateau at 11 billion. It's a lot more people. We've only got 7 billion right now, so 11 billion is a whole lot more people, like another 50, 60%. And you might ask, what are we going to do with them? Where are we going to put them? How are we going to feed them? And where's the water going to come from? And I think the most significant question sitting there is, where's the water going to come from? Because the planet definitely has a water problem. The building of true lifelong relationships, building them for life and not just business. Chip, awesome. Great idea. So as I was saying, typical snowfall at Kirkwood is around 400 or 500 inches a year. Now, don't quote me on the numbers because I haven't looked them up, so they're not accurate. But last year, I think it was around 200 and something. I don't think it broke 300. This year, I think it probably broke 800. It's way up there. And I was watching the snow at Kirkwood, and it was snowing day after day after day, nonstop for seems like a couple months. Huge snowfall. So, is there change? Yeah, there is. One of the things that's amazing about the human race is how adaptable people are and look at the extreme climates that people adapt to and live in, from the Inuit in the extreme north to people that live on the equator. And it's fundamentally the same DNA, the same genetic makeup. They've adapted to extreme environments. So human beings are very adaptable. But the challenge we have, I think, is that human beings have to eat and drink. And worldwide water is a serious issue. Look at South Africa, look at Cape Town. Almost ran out of water, very close to having major cities in the world with no water at all, zero, zip, none. How are we going to combat that? But we can't take on the world's climate problem, the world's problems here on this little a couple of minutes a day broadcast. So, hey, I hope you're going to have a wonderful day. I hope the sun comes out real soon. I see some blue sky out there. It might be actually warming up, but it's windy and wet. And so we'll just look out the window and wave at it today. And you folks have a wonderful day. Remember, be happy. The happier you are, the more happy the universe can bring you. And you don't need my help to remember to be compassion. The world needs a whole lot more of that. We'll talk again real soon. Bye for now.